Hi, I'm Lauren Grace. I'm an evidential medium and a seer, and I'm the owner-operator of Lauren Grace Inspirations. I'm a channel of the light and work with spirit guides, angels, the higher self, and passed over loved ones to provide you with support, clarity, and encouragement. Using oracle cards, mediumship, and clairvoyance, my readings will leave you feeling comforted and empowered. I have various reading options available, ranging from 30-minute readings to 60-minute readings to group sessions, all online or in person. I also work with professionals to help them gain clarity in business and life purpose. To book a reading with me, simply head to laurengraceinspirations.com. All right, welcome. I'm Lauren Grace. I am a medium and a seer, and I'm the owner-operator of Lauren Grace Inspirations and host of the Afterlight podcast. And welcome to the show. You are joining Soul Deep Sessions, and this is the first time I have done such a show by myself, so I am very, very excited. Little bit nervous, but mostly excited. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the love already. I appreciate that. All right. So how today is going to go is basically I'm going to be doing some power readings. So I'm going to try to get through as many people as possible. So if you have a reading request, if you have a question or something that you'd like some support on, I'll also check in and see if we've got any passed over loved ones. I did do a live a couple of days ago with the beautiful Michelle Price, and I did have some spirit guides coming through on that show. So you never know what could happen. So just leave yourself a question or leave me a question in the comments and we'll get to it. Just before we kick off, I thought we might start with a card for the day to just sort of, set the tone, set the mood. 2023. Love to know how you're feeling about it. And of course, you can book me for readings as well at laurengraceinspirations.com. And I put a link to that in the comments. All right. So today's general card reading for everybody is speed. And this is the movement card. And I just love that. Okay, so basically this card is talking about getting things going. It's a card of action. It's a card of momentum. And if you are feeling anything like me, you are ready for 2023. We're ready to kick things off. We're ready to get started. And this is number 42. And 4 plus 2 is a 6. And 6 for me is always a number about opening your eyes and finally seeing things clearly. It's the number of love. It's the number of family. A lot of energy behind this card, a lot of momentum, a lot of speed. And it's just sort of like, okay, you know what? I've been doing the hibernation. I'm ready to get going. So I love that as a card for kicking things off for 2023 in general, but also for tonight's show. One thing I will say is that if you don't get a reading, very often there's going to be a lot of wisdom and a lot of guidance for you in the readings that belong to other people. So I really would encourage you to continue to listen, to continue to, pay attention with an open mind, because there's definitely going to be something in it for you. Spirit always has a way of making sure that you get the answer that you need at the right, perfect time. All right. So let's see what we've got. We've got so many people on here. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm so excited. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose somebody and let's just get right into it. Okay, let's go with Abigail. All right. Abigail McGrath, she's so ready for 2023. I absolutely love that energy around you, Abigail. One thing I will do as well is I often write things down. As a medium as well, I find it very easy to connect when I'm scribbling. It just sort of helps distract that mind. So what we're going to do is we'll see if anyone pops in here for you, Abigail, but we'll also do a little bit of a reading for you for 2023. And again, if you have any questions about your life purpose, I'm also a business mentor. So I do specialize as well in helping people with business and putting spirituality together, which is such a cool combination. All right, Abigail, for you. Ooh, girl, I feel a lot of energy in your chest area. I feel like a little bit of anxiety, but mostly momentum. I think we're all really feeling a lot of that speed about getting things going and getting ready for 2023 and kicking things off. And I love how we've got the card here of fire. This is the card of initiation, ignition. This is card number 8. It's really about what you've been putting out, you're also going to be receiving back. So it's kind of like a full circle number. Whenever I see card number 8, I think about abundance. I think about, in a way, sort of karma. All of the things that you've been putting out are really coming back to you. So I think that this is a number that's really letting you know that, hey, you know what? All your work is paid off and it's time to really kick things off. Now, one of the things that I do notice is sometimes when people are wanting to, put a plan into action, maybe there's a lot of fire going on. There's also some need for some grounding. So I'm feeling for you like a lot of energy and a lot of momentum, but I'm not feeling that you're really stuck on the ground necessarily. So I really want to strongly encourage you to do some grounding techniques. Go outside, walk around, lift your toes, put them back down. Very often when we're ready to kickstart new projects, new ideas, we've got a lot of things that are going on in our mind, but we don't necessarily take the time to kind of plan the course, right? So it's sort of, where you're going, but you don't really know how to get there yet. So it's really about taking that time to really plan step by step by step. Also, one thing I really want you to do is make sure that you're paying attention to your emotions, paying attention to the signs and symbols from spirit that they're leaving you and letting you know whether or not you're on the right path. When you're feeling light and you're feeling bright and you're feeling like, hey, everything's sort of flowing, that's an indication that you are on the path. That is green, go, go, go. Anytime you feel a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of, things aren't flowing so well, a little bit of nervousness, maybe stop, maybe take a moment, maybe kind of reassess, get new information, and then proceed as soon as you feel good. Okay, so one of the things too that they're encouraging you to do is to really spend a little time being quiet as well and getting really clear with what's important to you. Okay, now it's interesting because we've got this winter card and then we've got fire, and they sort of don't really match each other. So it could be that you're kind of coming out of a period of hibernation and you're ready to kick things off and you're just super excited and ready to run. Or it could also be that you need to take a little bit of time to consider planning your next step, sort of like what I was talking about before, knowing where you want to go, but then knowing how to get there. It's also making sure that decisions that you're making are really in line with you, in line with your truth, in line with where you want to go. Okay, sometimes what we do is we tend to entertain the ideas of other people, and that can get us sort of stuck, that can get us off track. It can really take us sort of out of our direction. So it's really making sure that you're paying attention to the things that are for you, and then you're following your own journey. I also do want to acknowledge, I feel like I have an older gentleman here. I do want to put him as sort of a grandfather type. He strikes me as somebody who's very well dressed, very presented, quite tall, quite, I don't want to say thin, but he's sort of narrow, I guess you could say, his build. He does strike me as being sort of quiet in personality, quite smart. I would put him as an intellectual. I'm just going to place him for a second. I would put him on the mother's side of the family. Does seem to me like he's quite a gentle person and he's really looking out for you. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. I'm going to get to the next person. And please, if these things do make sense, leave comments. I would love to know whether or not they resonate with you. Very smart. Thank you. I am a fire sign, so I totally know what it's like to have a lot of momentum and want to, just get into it, but you really want to plan your course. It's going to be good. Okay, let's see who else we've got. Okay. Michelle Moore would love a card. All right, let's do it. All right, let me see here. Just going to pull a little card. One of the things I do to cleanse my deck is I knock 3 times. If you're ever feeling like you're a little bit stuck for energy or you like really need to get things going, sound is really a good way of, kind of breaking up energy. I always recommend people, clap 3 times if they're trying to shift some energy out or feeling a little bit stuck. Okay, so your card for you is the Storms card, Michelle, and this is a period of cleansing for you. And it's also number 23, and 2 + 3 is a 5, and 5 is really the card of change. So I feel like you're sort of letting things go. I feel like maybe there's been some tumultuous situations. Maybe things haven't really been flowing as easily as you would like them to. Maybe there's been some drama or some challenging situations that have come up. But one of the things that I really want to let you know, and I'm getting a lot of confirmation from spirit because I get goosebumps when I'm seeing things that are like really being confirmed, okay, is that when things are sort of shaken up and we're feeling a little bit like, oh man, you know, there's all this stuff happening. I'm feeling maybe out of control. There's all these things happening around me. It's really kind of the energy's way, of spirit's way of just shaking things up so things can settle in the way that they're meant to. Sometimes we need to have things sort of break down in order to break through. Sometimes we have to go through challenging situations in order to find a new perspective, get us on a right path, you know, take us off of the wrong path and move us into the direction that we're meant to be on. And sometimes that has to happen through what could feel sort of like a storm. I will share with you that in 2020, in March of 2020, which is coming up 2 years now, I was let go of my position. 3 years now. I was let go of my position. And what that did is it kickstarted my whole career as a business mentor. It started me on the path of doing a podcast, the Afterlight podcast. And it just really started me on the journey, which is where I'm on now. And if I hadn't gone through that really difficult time and those challenges, that I wouldn't be where I am now, which is where I'm meant to be. So I just want you to know that sometimes when these things happen and they feel stressful and it feels like, why are these things happening to me? I want you to look for the light. I want you to look for the learning. I want you to look for the opportunity. Okay. It's really easy to get caught up in looking at things and going, oh man, this is really difficult, but there's always going to be an opportunity for you. Can you ask yourself, what lesson is this teaching me? What does this have to show me? You know, life is working for you, not against you. Okay, my girl, I'm going to choose another card for you though, just before we get to the next person. I do feel like I want to say that I have an older woman for you in spirit as well. She does strike me as around maybe 5'6" in height, medium sort of build. I do put her a bit older, maybe in her 60s, okay, a little bit older than me. I do feel like she's got darker hair. I do want to put her as sort of a grandmotherly type figure. I'm just seeing where she's positioned. I want to put her on the mother's side of the family as well, okay? She does want to talk about nails for some reason. She definitely has beautiful hands. I feel like there was a lot of emphasis in taking care of your nails, making sure things were like your nails were clean. That was a really big sign of like hygiene. I really feel that she's quite proper, that she likes things in a certain way, had a really nice household that was set up, that was always clean, you know, ready to entertain. She just felt like she was a woman that really had a lot of things put together. I do want to talk about in the throat area, there was like some respiratory stuff going, which may have been in relation to things that happened that were left unsaid. It could also be in relation to thyroid, and it could also be in relation to maybe difficulty with respiratory, with breathing. I also want to say there's a little bit of pain or a sort of pressure, I guess, in this sort of area. And I do feel a little bit of nausea, which does make me, triggers me to say it was cancer related, or it also triggers me to say that there might have been some medication that she was on that really just made her feel sick. Okay, I just want to let her know that she's with you. And I just dropped your card, which flew out. So let me just pick it up. Okay. And what card was it? Drum roll, please. It's this beautiful card, and it's power, and it's volcanoes. Hope you can see that okay. And this is just really showing you that you have all the power that you need to rise above these situations. Okay. I love that there's an element of fire here, and fire for me is always about cleansing. So sometimes what we need to do is we need to go out and we need to burn things. We need to purge. We need to know that we can rise above. It's like the phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes and going, you know what? I just went through some stuff, but here I am reborn, and I'm ready to, you know, get started onto the next part of this journey. It's also number 9 here, and number 9 really is end of a cycle. So it's the end. So I just want you to know that you're really coming out of this stormy period, and you're moving into sort of the ending of that, so that you can get started on the next part of your journey. Okay, my sister, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much. And again, if you've got any confirmation, anything like that, that would just be fantastic. All right, Laura Grant, let's go with you, my girl. Hopefully you identify as a woman. Sorry, shouldn't say that probably. All right. So you would love a read. Let's see what you get here. Loving this, loving all the comments. Thank you so much. Really doing my best to get to everyone. Okay. Laura, what have we got for you? I'm feeling a little bit emotional, Laura. Like I'm feeling like there's a lot of emotion. So I'm not sure whether or not you're processing something or something that's going on for you. I just want to acknowledge that. Okay, girl? All right. Here we go. Okay, beautiful. So this is a card that's really talking about getting out there and finding joy. Okay, it's really getting out there, and it's sort of like, you know, especially when you've been going through a difficult time, an emotional time, what we need to do is we need to go, okay, what's something that I can do right now that's going to set me on the right path, you know, or make me feel a little bit better in this moment. And for me, the classic reset is really listening to a tune that you like. It's listening to music. It's listening to something that's upbeat. I've got Hertz music on in the background. That's Hertz. That's a high frequency type music. It's also called solfeggio beats. And it just really elevates me and makes me feel better. And whenever things are sort of difficult or I'm not really feeling myself, I'll often put on a song and have a mini dance party, okay? Just as a way of shifting that energy. So this is really an indication for you to really be focusing on joy and to really be looking at things that you can do to make you feel a little bit better in this moment, okay? This is also card number 28, and 2 + 8 is a 10, and 1 + 0 is a 1. And 1 is all about new beginnings, new starts, new ideas. So I just want you to know that you're really coming out of this and you're really moving on to the next path. What's really important, though, is that you need to be very clear on what you want. Right? It's like, what do you want? Okay. How can you learn from these experiences so that you can welcome in new experiences that you would like to attract? So this is time for you to get really clear. The new year is absolutely a perfect time for you to kick things off with new intentions, with goals. One thing I do want to caution you to is not to set too many goals. Sometimes that does happen where we go, oh, I'm going to do 25 things. No, maybe do 1 or 2 things. Get those down pat, and then set a new intention and a new goal. So I hope that's, yes, you say you're trying. Yeah. Just be patient and compassionate with yourself. That's all it is. Just focus on one thing, work on doing that. And as you've got that habit set, then you can add on new stuff. It does take between 21 and 66 days to properly form a habit. And it really just comes down to you deciding, you know what, I want to do that thing and I'm going to make it a priority. I'll choose one more card for you though. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. A lot of energy for you though, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of anxiety I'm feeling there. Rescue Remedy is really good. You can get it at the chemist. That really helps a lot with anxiety as well. I enjoy using that myself. All right. And finally for you, which is so beautiful, this is about the light and the sun. I mean, look at that. Nothing says coming out of a difficult time than stepping into the light more than this card, right? How beautiful. How beautiful. And, you know, these 2 women that are sitting and they're contemplating exactly what we were talking about. What do you want? Goal setting. This is also number 6. And for me, 6 is about seeing clearly. It's about coming around the corner and going, you know what? I know what I don't want now, and I know what I do want. So I'm going to take the time that I need to focus on that. And I'm going to let my spirit guides know, this is what I would like. This is how I want it. This is when I want it. And then I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put my order into the universe, and I'm going to get ready to receive. I want you to start to focus on all the beautiful, positive things around you as well. A gratitude journal is a really good way to get started. I'm on about day 123 of gratitude. I've been writing in my gratitude journal every single day for 123 days. Even when I've gone out, I've, you know, on a trip or something, I've taken it with me. I haven't missed a day. Really encourage you to maybe look at that as an option. All right. Hope that helps. Okay. Who's next? Thank you all so much for being here. All right. Who we got here? Natasha Couillet. Hope that's the right way of pronouncing that. Okay, Natasha. You know what? I got to change decks for you. It's so funny when that happens. It's sort of like, oh no, I'm going to use that one. It's kind of like when you're shuffling for someone. Sometimes the cards are going, yeah, this is awesome, works well. And then sometimes there's a bit of a disconnect. So it's all right. It's all good. Just means you need a different kind of message. All right, Nat, let's see what we can get for you here. Thank you so much for the comments too. I've got so many beautiful people writing comments. I'm doing my absolute best to get to everyone before 6 o'clock. And I want to thank you so much for being here and being patient. Just remember, there's a lot of guidance for you to be found in readings for other people. Okay, so even if you don't get your reading, and if you do want your own one-on-one reading with me, just head to my website, laurengraceinspirations.com. Click on spiritual readings. I've also put a link for you there in the comments. And we can have a reading where we just focus on you. We see whether or not we've got anyone in spirit we can connect to, your spirit guides, and all that jazz. Okay, Nat, I also feel like a lot of anxiety for you too. I'm feeling sort of in my stomach area. I'm just trying to pick up whether or not I had something else going on. I do feel a little bit in my throat too, like throat blocked. And I do feel like I'm having a difficulty in my jaw, like a bit of, like it's a bit hard for me to speak sort of. So I'm not sure whether or not you're having a difficult time with communicating. You're a little bit nervous about speaking your truth. Okay. So I just want to acknowledge that. Now your card here is the Bone Collector card. And this is number 1. And 1 is about new beginnings, new starts, new ideas. I love this card because this beautiful woman is sitting there and she's sitting amongst her treasures and she's sort of looking at the history and the past of her life. And she's looking at all the things that she's collected along the way. And she's starting to understand whether or not these things are important to her or whether or not they're not and they need to drop off. When you think about it, every single decision that you're making is taking you towards the person that you want to be, or it's taking you away from it. And one of the things that we sometimes forget is that as we go through life, we collect things. We collect memories, we collect stories, we collect actual things, we collect relationships, we collect a whole variety of things, habits that really have made us into who we are now. And the question is, what would you like to come next? Do these things that you have, these people, these decisions you've been making, the way you've been treating your health, the way that you've been, the kind of work that you're doing, the exercise, all these sort of things, are they taking you towards the person that you want to be, or are they taking you away from it? So the indication in this card is really a time for you to start to think about, okay, if I had to look at my life, if I had to maybe sit in a circle like this woman and look at my life, am I happy with my choices? Am I happy with the things that I have around me? Or are there some things that I'm ready to get rid of? Are there some things that I'm, maybe ready to move on? She's got things hanging in the trees. She's got things sitting closely around her. Are there things that you're ready to let go of? So this is really a time for you to start to be reflective about that. I'm going to take another card for you though, and we'll see what we can get. I'm also just checking in to see if someone pops in spirit. Just listening to, and I do feel like I want to mention that you've come far. And so it's really about also acknowledging the journey that you've had up until now. Okay. I don't feel like you've been congratulating yourself a lot. So I just want to congratulate you on how far you've come. It seems to me like you've made some pretty big decisions, like you've had some forks in the road and you've made some decisions along the way. I mean, we all have, but I feel like you've had some pretty significant things happen to you. And I just want to acknowledge how far you've come and that you should be really proud of yourself. Okay. So they're telling me that, and I just wanted to deliver that message. All right. One of the cards that I've got for you, or this card for you, is the Dragon's Lair card. And one of the things that I really want to encourage you to think about is that sometimes the things that we worry about, like this little creepy person in this corner here. So I'm trying to get it backwards. That little creepy thing. Sometimes it just doesn't amount to anything at all. We're kind of worried about all these things in the shadows or these things that may or may not happen. I think there's a quote and it's like 95% of things that we worry about will never actually happen to us. So I really want you to start to pay attention to your mindset. Okay. I want you to start to notice, the people you spend time with, the movies that you're watching, the music that you're listening to, and making sure that you're feeding feeding yourself positive things, because sometimes when we're overloading on the news or on difficult subjects, you know, true crime is a really big theme that a lot of people like to read or watch, that sometimes that can actually fill our minds with worries that really don't belong to us. And I really want you to just start to be aware of that, that sometimes we're really nervous or concerned that things are going to happen, but it's actually just worry and it's not really anything. And you can rise above that. You know, we've got this dragon slayer here, and, you know, you can sort of take the path. You can go all the way to the top, and you can just decide, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that back there. I'm just going to do with it whatever happens when it happens, and I'm going to move myself up. All right. So hopefully that was helpful for you. And we'll move to the next person. All right. Let's go with Milton Clark. Hi, can I please have a reading? Will we buy the house we live in soon? Thank you. All right, let's see what we say here. Very good. Not the right deck for you either. Let's choose an Angel Answers card. Angel Answers, beautiful deck here. It's by Radleigh Valentine. Just want to find out about, will you buy the house you live in soon? And let's see what we get. Feeling a lot of excitement around that. I got to say, I feel, you know, like you're definitely in line with the right direction. So I definitely feel like, ooh, you know, this is exciting, sort of like butterflies, you know. I'm feeling it a little bit higher in my, not really in my tummy, more in like my chest area. So it's kind of like, ooh, like you're sort of ready for the next adventure. I can feel a lot of good energy around that. So let's just see what the cards say. So it's really talking about how, yes, you will. I mean, it really strikes me that you're on the right path. And one of the reasons why is because it just feels like that. I've got a beautiful momentum feeling. I feel like you're on the edge of your seat, like you're ready to jump off into the next adventure, like you're ready for the next thing. So I definitely do see that happening for you. Let's see if we can get a little bit more information. Definitely some nerves too, though. Hey. All right, that's right. So what we need to do is we need to let go. So it's interesting how I was talking about nerves. One of the things that we need to be really aware of is that when we want stuff, sometimes what we do is we tend to hold on really tight and we tend to try to control the situation. And the sign here for you is really to let go. I want to say let go and let God, but if you don't like that language, you can just turn it into whatever's going to feel good for you, okay? Let go and just trust the process. Sometimes things happen, you know, when they're supposed to and not when we think they're supposed to. Sometimes they happen when we think they're supposed to, but sometimes they don't. So it's really about just going with the flow and letting go. Let go of your expectations. Just trust that everything's going to unfold in the perfect timing. Because if you try to hold on to things really tight, what you're doing is just sort of suffocating the situation. You're kind of like bottlenecking it, really. So you're kind of stopping the flow. And what you want to do is relax. So anytime you feel a little bit stressed, anytime you want to talk about something not working out with in your highest good, you want to be a little bit, you know, negative about things not rolling as fast as you want. I want you to stop. I want you to say nothing or just talk about things as you want them to be. You know, I intend for this house sale to go smoothly. I intend for this, for everything to happen easily and gracefully and at the perfect and exact timing. Now, one of the things I will say is that sometimes when we are allowing life to unfold, life will jump in with a brand new idea, with a new option, with a better option even. So one of the things I always do is when I'm intending for something to happen, I always say, can I have this or something better? All right. So if this is the perfect house for you, perfect, let it unfold, or show me something better. But I'm definitely feeling a lot of really, really good energy and a lot of really good vibes around this. I'm just going to see if I can get any more indication. But surrendering is going to be really critical for you here. Relaxing, just allowing things to unfold as they will, making sure you're getting all your ducks in a row, making sure all your paperwork is organized. Okay, just doing the things that you can do, managing the things that you can manage, and letting everything else sort of take part. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't follow up, that you don't check in and see how things are going. Okay, if you feel like you need to make a call and see if things are moving along, that would be fine. But just kind of watch whether or not, you're throwing some shade at it. All right. Just trust the process. Oh, and then the last card for you is to communicate clearly. So that would definitely be around, making sure that if you are communicating, that you're communicating around timelines, settlement dates, what you need, all these sort of things. Getting things in writing is going to be really, really good. Making sure that you're bringing in, proper people to advocate for you if required, and just getting everything on paper. It's going to be really important. Okay. All right. Good luck with that. Would love to hear an update too. If you can let me know, maybe jump on in a couple of weeks and let me know. All right, next person. Let's see how we go here. Okay. All right. Christine Marie Clark. All right. I'll give you a one card or a little card reading for you here. Please have some guidance regarding my small business. Just trying to think about what deck for you. Let's use this deck here. Okay. Oh, this is perfect deck. All right, let's see what we got for you here. And thank you all. I've got 33 watching. Thank you so much for being on the show or watching the show. All right, let's see what we've got for you, Christine. And I am doing the best I can to give everyone a little bit of a reading. But remember, if you don't get a reading today, you can book a one-on-one reading with me on my website at LaurenGraceInspirations.com. We can spend 30 minutes or an hour, and I also do written readings. So if you just have a quick question, you can actually just get that, and I can send you a download for your question. Okay. Oh, I love this card, Christine, for you. This is the Oracle's Gift. And if I'm not mistaken, you are interested in exploring more of the Oracle work and tarot readings. So that's a pretty damn good sign, isn't it? Now, one of the things it's showing us is all this magic and wisdom to be found within this teacup. And I just love that because it's just showing that, really it's about your intention. What do you want to achieve? What are you looking for? Are you getting ahead of yourself, or are you actually taking the time to build a business properly? So when you're building a business, obviously you want to kind of have an idea about where you want the business to go and grow. And then you want to make sure that you've got a plan to execute to get there, right? You want to think about who do you serve? You want to think about what are you offering? What transformation do you provide? How are you different from other people in the similar industry? What are you doing to make sure that you're qualified in that area? So there are all these sort of things that you can do to help you build your business. So it's about making sure that you're clear on what you want your business to look like, and then doing a business plan. There are so many online business plans you can get. Highly, highly, highly recommend to anyone listening that if you are going to be building a business, that you always look at a business plan. You want to look at what your outgoings are going to be, what your incomings are projected. You want to look at market research, what current people are pricing their products at. You want to look at your competition. You want to make sure you've really dotted all your I's and crossed your T's. So I highly recommend that you get a business plan if you haven't already, and you start working towards that. Okay. Just remember, what is it that you want? Who do you want to serve? Getting those things down on paper is going to be really important and a great way to kick things off. I'll do one more card for you. So this is a Grand Symphony card. So that's so beautiful. I love that. And this is card number 27. And this 2 + 7 is a 9, and 9 is end of a cycle. So I really feel like you're getting into the next part of your journey. So again, business plan is going to be really important, getting clear on what you want to do and who you want to serve. A Grand Symphony for me is really about everything coming together. It's kind of like the culmination of a lot of your learning, a lot of your life experience really coming together and setting you up for this next part of your journey. So listen to the signs, listen to notice the symbols and the messages from spirit around you, and follow your emotions. They're always going to be guiding you and letting you know if you're on the right path. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Who is next? Okay. Let's go with Elizabeth Morales. Okay. And you want a general reading, and I like this deck for you too, Elizabeth. And this is the 7 Energies Oracle deck from Colette Baron-Reid. I have a lot of Colette's decks. I just think she is the best. All right. Now, don't forget, you can also ask questions around life purpose. General reading is always good, though. I like doing general readings because I do feel that sometimes we we need to just sort of get out of our way and see what spirit has to say. So I do think that there's a lot of value in that. All right, let me see what we get for you, Elizabeth. Let's get tap into your energy too for a minute. I'm feeling a little bit of like stuff in the throat, a little bit of heaviness in the chest. So I'm feeling like you need to get some things off your chest. If you're not feeling comfortable with speaking this stuff out, you can write it out, burn the letter, and then maybe you can write another version, and then you can maybe share that if required. I'm a big fan of first drafts. Get the first draft out, burn it, get rid of it, gone. And then you might be able to speak your truth and feel a little bit more comfortable. Definitely a lot of stuff in the heart area as well. So I am feeling like there's some pressure in the heart area, and I'm feeling some tension as well in my jaw. So I do feel like there's a communication in relation to a matter of the heart. Okay, so this is a gorgeous card that we've pulled for you here, which is open to discovery. And I just love this. It's, you know, this beautiful doorway. There's a key here, and it's sort of you unlocking and getting ready to step into the next part of the journey. I just absolutely love this card. This is really just showing that you're opening to discovering new ways of being. Okay. And this is also card number 34. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to get everything right here. There we go. 3 + 4 is a 7, and 7 is all about connecting with your higher purpose, your higher self, connecting with your spirit guides and your spirit teams. I do want to acknowledge too, I do feel like I have a woman and a man here. They do strike me as being part of the family, but not a couple. I do want to say that they both have dark hair. I feel like they are of a different cultural background to me. I do feel like they have olive skin. Yeah, they're just really beautiful. They just seem really welcoming. The woman in particular is stepping forward. I do feel like she's wearing a dress with a lot of colors in it. She's very proud of that. I feel like the dress is also hand stitched. Like there's flowers that have been woven into it. There's a lot of emphasis on the dress. There's a lot of emphasis on the bottom of the dress, and also the cuffs and stuff. It's like really beautiful work. I'm trying to think. It's like sewn work. It looks like it's been hand stitched. I do want to say that the dress itself is sort of orangey and a little bit pinky. It's that kind of color. Can you just step to the behind so I can see what side of the family you're on, please? I do want to put it on like the mother side of the family. I don't know whether or not, I'm just trying to pick, maybe it is mother figure or someone who might have, you know, you might have had sort of motherly connection to. Okay. She does, her hair is also quite wavy. It goes to about her shoulders, darker hair. She's just a really beautiful energy. She just seems like she would give the best hugs. Honestly, she's just got this real warmth about her. Yeah, I just really think her energy is just absolutely beautiful. So back to your card though, opening to discovery. This is about knowing that you don't know everything right now. It's about knowing that you're learning still. You know, we're all learning, otherwise we wouldn't be here. I'm learning every day. I'm always listening to a book or reading a book or taking a master class or something. So it's about opening up your horizons and seeing what's possible for you. And I feel like you're really on a new journey in relation to discovering even your own self and your innate gifts. I really do feel like you have intuition and you have possibly clairvoyance tendencies as well. So it might be worth looking at developing those gifts. I also feel like you're quite sensitive. So I just want you to really pay attention to the energy that you spend time with, the people around you and that sort of thing, and making sure that you're taking salt baths or you're having, you know, lots of showers that kind of like clear your energy and help reset. Okay. Because especially when we're empathic, we take on the energy of a lot of other people. On my podcast, the Afterlight, all one word podcast, you can go and check that out. And new episodes every Thursday, but there's a lot of episodes on there around managing your energy. There's a lot of episodes around there on being empathic and developing your spiritual gifts as well. So I feel like for you, it's like a really big opportunity for you to step into this new line of almost work, but you know, this new direction for you. And I really want you to make sure that you're also grounding, okay? Spending time in nature, going outside, that sort of thing. Because when you open up to these new paths and these new experiences, sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. And we tend to, I overdid it. Maybe not everyone does, but I know I overdid it to the point where one time I had to take almost 5 years off spirituality because I overdid it that much. So really make sure that you're grounding, making sure that you're taking care of your energy. All right. I'll pull one more card for you and then we'll move on to the next person. in perfect harmony. I love that. So beautiful. One of the things that they're telling me as well is that music might be quite important for you. So there might be something you can do with music, with sound healing. Okay. Again, shameless plug, but on my show, I've interviewed sound healers. So you could listen to some different perspectives on that if you are interested in potentially developing that. This is also number 11. And 11 is a master number. So it's really about new beginnings, new ideas. And it's sort of that, but really with a lot of energy and a lot of emphasis around it. So I just want to encourage you to know that, you're moving forward and you're heading on the right direction. Because of all the purples in this card as well, there's a lot of emphasis on spiritual connections here. And this is talking about in perfect harmony. And it's just really reinforcing to you that everything is happening at the perfect time and everything is really coming together. And it's an exciting time for you. I'm so pumped. So please do make sure you let me know if that resonates with you. And anyone who's had a reading so far, if you could let me know if that resonates with you, that would be just fantastic. I would love to hear about it. But definitely, keep me posted on your journey. Okay. Who's next? Who is next? Arlene Johnson. Just a general reading. A lot of people want general readings. I appreciate that. Okay. Got a couple cards. Too many cards flew out there. So we're not going to read 5 cards for you right now. So let's see if we can get one. This is for Arlene. Just a nice general reading. Okay, cool. Got 33 people watching still. 33 is an amazing number. I did see somebody had mentioned the number 33, and 33 is actually the number of Ascended Masters as well. So if you were seeing 33 a lot, it could be that the Ascended Masters are wanting to connect with you. So if you just Google different Ascended Masters, honestly, you're going to get a whole list. Jesus is one of them, for example. I was trying to list some more, but I'm just drawing a blank. So if you just go quinoa, no, I'm not even going to try. So just Google a different Ascended Masters. Right now I'm trying to connect to Arlene's energy and I'm drawing a blank on that. But number 33 means that there's something for you to do as well. It could be that you're also a master teacher. It could be that you have, things that you need to teach other people. So you might want to listen to that as well. If you have any indications that you want to be a teacher on some level and you're seeing a lot of number 33s, that would definitely be confirmation and validation for you. Okay, Arlene. Beautiful card. I love this card. Into me, I see. How gorgeous is that? And this is card number 8. And number 8 is all about what you put out, you get back. It's all about abundance. It's all about full circle. So this is really an indication for you that the way that you've been up to now is being reflected in the environment around you. Okay. So, those good friends that you have that love you and have your back. Yeah, that's because you're a good friend. How you're feeling good and all these sort of things. It's because of all the decisions that you've been making up until now. They're all being reflected back at you. I think that heading into 2023, it's going to be a big opportunity for you to do a lot of self-reflection, for you to start to pay attention to things that are important to you. It's kind of like when you've been giving all the time to other people, it's really a time for you to turn inwards and think to yourself, well, what is it that I want? What is it that's important to me? What is it that I want to do with the rest of my life? The average person lives 27,350 days, which is around 74 years. And it's important to remember that our days are not guaranteed, and you are in the driver's seat of what you want your time and your days to look like. So this card is really indicating to you, what is it that you want? And look at how beautiful and lit up she is. Look at all the light that's shining within her. And the quote that's coming to mind is, nothing can dim the light that shines within. And that's just such a beautiful quote from Maya Angelou. And it's just about seeing that inner light within yourself. We all have shadow and we all have light within us. But sometimes what we do is we get bogged down on feeling punishing ourselves for things. We don't treat ourselves the way that we treat other people. We're hard on ourselves. This is really an indication of you starting to see all the light and strength and beautiful courage and wisdom that you have within you, and know that you are really on the right path, that you are starting to see yourself the way that other people see you, which is just so beautiful. Okay. So that is such a gorgeous card for you. I'm just going to run my camera here and see if I can get a little bit more clarity. I'm going to pull one more card for you too. See see what we can get. Thank you all so much for being here and listening. Still have 33 people are watching, I guess. All right. And Arlene, one more card for you here. This is the land in between. Okay, so the card of land in between. This is 40. And 4 plus 0 is 4. And 4 is a lot about, you know, having a goal and then putting a plan into place to get there. So for me, it's like an action number. It's about going, all right, I want to achieve that and how I'm going to get there. And because there's 2 paths for you to get to your destination, it's really about you starting to think about, well, what path do you want to take to get there? Now, when you're making a decision and you have to go left or you have to go right, I mean, one thing that's really cool is they're both leading to the destination, which I believe is your destiny. You're going to find your way. But when you're listening to your emotions, you're going to get there a lot faster. Okay, you're going to get there. You're going to be listening to, you know, the feelings that feeling good. And because you're doing that, you're going to get there way quicker than if you were going, oh, you know, this doesn't really feel perfect to me. I'm going to go that direction anyway, because I've already committed or someone else said I should do it. You know, it could be that you have to go sort of on a longer path to get there. It could be that you have to kind of like go through the clouds and then get through that and then get back on the path. So I really want you to start to pay attention to your emotions. And I talk about it all the time. And I do that because it's key. It's super important that you start paying attention. I also do want to acknowledge I've got an older man here for you in spirit. I do feel like it's a fatherly type, although actually, it could be a grandfatherly type because I would place him on the mother side of the family. He does strike me as being probably around 5'10", 5'11" in height. He is a really kind man. I do feel like he would wear sweaters or sweater vests quite a bit. I do feel like he had a bit of a hump in his back. He's sort of a little bit of a pot belly on him, really gentle. Actually reminds me a little bit of my own grandfather, somebody who would give really good hugs as well. He's really looking out for you. Yeah, and it's like he wants to do winking, like I want to wink at you and go, you know, that's my, you know, that's my favorite or something like that. You definitely have a strong connection with him, but definitely a lot of emphasis on that winking. So hopefully that made sense for you. Would love to hear your comments or your feedback or anything like that. Please do leave it in the comments. And again, if you are watching and you don't get a reading tonight, doesn't mean you can't have a reading with me. You can find me over at laurengraceinspirations.com under spirit readings. All right, let's see who we've got now. Okay, Kylie, let's go with you. Would love a reading. All right, what can we get for you? I am using the same deck as I've been using for a while now here, which is the beautiful 7 Energies deck. Love this. And my name's Lauren Grace, if you're just tuning in, and I am a medium and a seer. And I love to connect with past over loved ones, and I love to give you guidance and encouragement and support along your journey. I'm a business mentor as well, so I do a lot of work with business, pairing spiritual with business, but also giving you guidance from your spirit guides, even using past lives to help you connect with following your right path, you know, the path that's perfect for you, which isn't necessarily the path that's perfect for the person beside you. All right, Kylie, let's see what we got here. The Roots of Abundance. Ooh, I love this. This is number 2, card number 2, and this is card The Roots of Abundance. And what this is really a good indication of is that what you have been planting is going to, you know, fruit results. So one of the things I always like to emphasize and talk to my clients about on a regular basis is we go through cycles. Winter would be a cycle where you're thinking about what you want, you're hibernating, you're planting, you know, you're kind of, or you're not even planting yet, but you're about to plant. Then you sort of start to plant in the spring. Then all of a sudden your plants start to shoot new little sprouts, or they're starting to sprout. And then you go into summer and it's like, okay, everything's in full bloom, everything's abundant, you know, and then you harvest, right? So this is really about you planting, and what you're going to be planting is going to yield positive results for you. So I really want you to pay attention though to what you want to plant, and making sure that it's in line with your heart's desire, that it's in line with something that you want. Now, because it's number 2, I do want to acknowledge the 2 here. I want to acknowledge the two because the two is often light and shade. It's often yin and yang. It could be a business partner. It could be a relationship, could be a friendship. It could be, light and shadow, even within ourselves, getting to know ourselves and the different sides of ourselves. So I just want you to start to pay attention as well to where that might be showing up for you and making some sense for you. Okay. But I just want you to know that everything that you're planning is really looking like it's on track to be very abundant. So well done for you on that. Let's pull one more card though. And I do feel like that was a business question, but we'll just see what we get with the second card here. All right. And finally, okay, the Earth Magic card. Beautiful. So this is another one for you. And this is about staying grounded. But again, we see that root indication, don't we? We see the foundation. We see okay, I hear that. Thank you. We do see a lot of encouragement and stress on making sure that you are grounded. Okay. So I feel like you may have a lot of ideas, and I really want you to make sure that you're kind of coming down, you're planning things properly, you're putting things in an organized fashion. If you're wanting to do something and someone else has already gone before you, because hundreds of thousands of people may have, see whether or not you can replicate their path, see whether or not you can get their book, listen to their podcast, take a training with them, anything like that, even working with a coach or a mentor to help you along the path. But I feel like there's definitely a lot of emphasis here with the root card and also with this card, with this woman standing on the ground, to make sure that you're also grounded as you continue to move forward. I did mention earlier that a couple years ago, I really overwhelmed myself with spirituality and learning so much that I took almost 5 years off. So it's really important that you're doing the grounding as you're advancing. Okay. Also, because of number one here, this is really about new ideas, new experiences, and heading into a new direction. I just love all the light within this card. It's just really reinforcing that there's so much energy around you, so much beautiful golden light. I do want to acknowledge that I feel like I have an angel spirit guide for you here. They are presenting just as like a guardian angel for you. I do feel like the light behind them is sort of pinky, white, and it's really coming through. So I do want to talk about almost unconditional love as well because of that pink indication. So maybe it's about looking after yourself a little bit more as well, growing in compassion and love for yourself. Really strongly would like to encourage you to get a rose quartz as well. You can get a rose quartz. You can wear it along your neck. You can have it on a ring. You can have a bracelet or even just hold it. That's really going to help you to continue to grow in love and confidence. I feel like there's a need for you to make that a priority as you continue to grow. Okay. Oh, thank you. And one thing too, in relation to the groundingness, is I also want to put a little bit of emphasis for you on focusing on your base chakra, your root chakra. That chakra is red, and that's the one that makes us feel like we belong. And also it's about security and safety. Okay. And that's really a lot about grounding as well. So do a little research into the root chakra, the base chakra. See if you can have spicy foods. You can invite the color red in, getting outside, getting into nature, that kind of thing. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Would love to hear any feedback that anyone's got, please. That'd be just fantastic. Okay, let's see here. Nikki, thank you for my nails. I appreciate that compliment. All right. Vicky Price, let's go with you. Let's see what we got. And again, I'm using the same deck. And thank you so much for listening again. If you want a one-on-one reading with me, you can book in for a 30-minute reading or a 1 hour. Or if you just want an answer to a question, I can actually just write you the answer and send you the channeled message. And that takes 48 hours for you to get that. 2 business days. Okay, Vicky, what have we got here for you? The Rose's Kiss. Okay. I'm feeling like a little bit of nervousness, and I'm feeling some pressure around the shoulders. So I'm not sure if you're feeling really tense there, but maybe look into doing a little bit of yoga and freeing up some of your shoulder area here. That's also really connected with the heart chakra. Okay. Heart chakra is the color green. So a lot of emphasis on you inviting in a little bit more green, also feeling quite a bit of emotion. So whether or not that's related to this heart issue that I'm feeling, there's just quite a lot of energy around this area. The card that you got here is the Rose's Kiss Kiss card. I absolutely love this card. It's so beautiful. When I think about a rose, I mean, it's so interesting because roses, depending on the different color, can also mean different things, right? Yellow is sort of like friendship. White is a lot about purity. Red is a lot about relationships and love relationships. This rose here is sort of multicolored. So it's really, I think it's a lot about opening up to a lot of these facets that you have within yourself that are hidden away that kind of encompass all of these things together. Now, rose is also really interesting because rose itself is also a flower of protection. So a lot of people will have roses at the entrance to their properties because of the thorns. It actually really works as a really nice protection flower as well. So I love this card for you. This is really about things blooming. You know, you can see the beautiful ladybug. I mean, a lot of people will say ladybugs are lucky. For me, they're definitely lucky. I always make a wish when I see one. This is really about that rose being in full bloom. This is really about you opening up. So whether or not there's been stuff that's happening here and you're ready to kind of open up, I think it's a lot about you maybe being a little bit vulnerable, maybe stepping out a bit of your comfort zone. So maybe do some of those shoulder stretches and kind of loosen things up a little bit and have fun with it. Okay, a lot of indication here about making sure that you're inviting in that joy, that you're keeping things light and easy. You don't need to worry so much about, you know, what will happen. It's like enjoy the moment. This is also number 9. I don't know if you can see that, but number 9 is also end of a cycle. So, you know, all that tension that's kind of going on, I feel like you're really stepping out of that and you're kind of opening up to all this beauty within yourself. All right, let's see what we can get here. Just do one more card for you, Vicki. Okay, interesting. So this is the Divine Matrix card, and this is number 44, and I love the 44 because that's all about the angels. The Divine Matrix card is really about everything coming together, almost like, you know how you see this in the middle? It's sort of like everything coming together and really creating a little bit of flow, a little bit of a beautiful beautiful synergy. It's like I want to talk about a stew in a pot and making a stew and putting in all these ingredients and like coming up with this amazing concoction. I don't know why I want to give you that comparison. Maybe that'll resonate with you. But I do want to talk about that. I also want to talk about you opening up. You can see the face here down below right there. And a lot of that opening up within the crown chakra, within the crown space. It's also a lot of emphasis on connecting with your higher self and your spirit guide. So I really feel like you may start to open up to more guidance that's coming for you, to more symbols and symbols and signs from your spirit team. So I really want you to start to pay attention to that. Okay, that's going to be really important. I also want you to start to write down any inspirations and anything like that that you get. Also, if you have a lot of stuff going on in your head, I want you to come back to the heart center and see if you can breathe in and out through the heart and really look at opening that up a little bit. Don't worry so much about everything. Start to feel a little bit more. Sometimes what we tend to do is we think a lot and we're not feeling as much. So I really want you to encourage to start to feel that. Even if you put your hand on your heart, left hand on your heart, let's do that together. Everyone watching, you want to put your left hand on your heart and you want to put your right hand on top of that one. Just want you to breathe in and out and in and out. And I just want you to say in your head or aloud, I am enough. I am confident. I am loved. I am worthy. I am safe. I am. And so it is. Just doing something like that, I mean, really, that took what, 15 or 20 seconds? That will really help bring you back into your heart and out of your head. Okay. All right. I have about 1 minute left. I'm so sorry if I didn't get to you today. I will do a general card reading now for everyone watching. I'll do one more card. Again, if you want to have your own private reading with me, you can do that. Just head to LaurenGraceInspirations.com and click on Spirit Readings. And also, I am the host of the Afterlight podcast. And I've got new episodes that launch all the time, but definitely on Thursdays, every Thursday. And you can get that wherever you find your podcasts. So one more general question for you. And then I do believe Michelle is going to be up at 6:15 or 7:15, depending on where you are. Okay. And the last card, and isn't this so apropos? If you did the heart thing with me, you are going to love this. Number one, we know that the heart chakra is green. Look at that. Tell me that is not just beautiful. And this is about letting it go. Sometimes we have these expectations for how we want things to happen. We have these, wishes and dreams, and we want them to all be here now. But sometimes we have to put in the work, and we just need to allow, spirit, our angels, our spirit guides to allow things to line up, to get into the right order that they need to be. Rejection is God's protection, okay? If something's not happening for you right now, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means that it's waiting for the perfect and divine time. This is also card number 24, and 2 + 4 is a 6, and 6 is really a lot about love. It's about family, and it's also about coming around the corner and seeing things clearly. So I think it's about you starting to look and go, you know what? How is this working for me? What's the lesson here? What can I learn from this? And then doing so with grace, with ease, with love and compassion for yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Soul Sessions today. Do catch me over on Facebook and on Instagram. Thank you so much for everybody who left a comment and a question. And I'll be back at the same time next week. And I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you today. I'll talk to you soon. Much love.